from the battlefield. I'm News 3's Steve Crupi. Some very joyous reunions here at McCarran Airport tonight as the troops begin to come home.
Plus, a raging fire in Pahrump and California casinos cashing in on the Vegas action. They've been away from their families for months. Tonight, a reunion you'll see only on News 3. An emotional welcome home for Nellis Airmen. Plus, fire rages in the night sky, destroying a casino in Pahrump. Now, hundreds of employees are left looking for work.
This is News 3 Nightside with Jim Snyder and Nina Radetich.
Good evening, everyone. The town of Pahrump has lost one of its biggest employers. The popular Mountain View Casino burned to the ground early this morning.
Yeah, we've been following the story since 4 a.m. when the fire began. News 3's Gerard Ramalho is live in Pahrump tonight. Gerard, locals there say even on a Tuesday, the Mountain View Casino would have been packed.
Yeah, Nina, aside from gambling, a lot of people will tell you bowling was the next most popular activity in all of Pahrump. And as it turns out, this casino was also home to the town's only bowling alley. So now thousands are literally having to find their entertainment elsewhere, and hundreds are out of work. It was an unbelievable sight, one of the town's most popular hangouts going up in flames, and along with it, about 240 jobs.
I'm wondering about the other people I worked with because I haven't really talked to any of them today. And I'm wondering if they're feeling as bad as I do.
Locals say the Mountain View Casino had a great buffet and the town's only bowling alley. Virtually everyone who came here was a regular. The employees were like family.
It's a great concern, but Pahrump is a very, very caring town. The people are already getting together to do what they can to help out.
Investigators believe the fire was probably an accident. They say it started in the kitchen, perhaps in a deep fryer. The sprinkler system did switch on, but somehow the flames jumped up to the ceiling. Owners of the casino are already vowing to rebuild, but for many employees, it may be too long to wait.
The workforce is a lot bigger than the number of jobs that we've got in this town. So if it comes down to it, I'll have to go into Vegas.
Yeah, really a tough break. Damage here is estimated at just over $10 million. An emergency fund has been set up at the local Bank of America, and in fact, they were handing out these flyers all evening tonight. Also, they will be holding a job fair for all of the displaced workers out at the Pahrump Nugget. That's going to take place both on Saturday and Sunday. Reporting live, I'm Gerard Ramalho. Nina, back to you.
And Gerard, there have been a number of casino fires over the past 3 decades in southern Nevada. The one most of us will never forget, the deadly MGM fire. 87 people lost their lives in November of 1980. The fire at the MGM started in the kitchen and quickly spread to the casino and other lower levels. That fire sparked major changes in building codes, forcing all high-rise buildings on the Strip to have fire sprinklers. You may remember the flames that tore through the Gold Strike Casino in 1998. That fire destroyed the 40-year-old casino. The 17-story hotel tower was damaged by smoke. An arsonist is said to have started this fire at the Las Vegas Club in August of last year, causing about $5,000 worth of damage to the hotel casino. And one of our area's newest casinos, the Cannery, caught fire in February of this year. The fire started at one of the buffet stations. No one was hurt.
Now on to a News 3 exclusive, and one that we're very glad to be able to bring you tonight. Tears of happiness and pride were flowing at McCarran Airport today as a group of Nellis Airmen came home from the war in Iraq. News 3 Steve Crupi joins us live from the airport. And Steve, this was just the beginning. Even bigger homecomings are in store in the days ahead.
You're exactly right, Jim. Tonight, 5 Nellis Airmen came home from the war, and later this week, a whole lot more will be returning to Las Vegas. It was quite a scene here at the airport as family members gathered to welcome their heroes back home. Lisa D'Amata could hardly contain her emotions as she waited for her own personal war hero to return. After months away in the battle zone, her husband and the father of this brand new baby girl was finally coming home.
It feels wonderful. This is their day. We couldn't be prouder to have them back in the job that they did.
Are you pretty satisfied with the job you did over there?
I'm very satisfied with the job we did. I think we did an awesome job talking to the people. I mean, you're walking down the streets, driving down the streets, and they're just yelling, thank you, welcome Americans, and I think we did Awesome job.
Probably one of the best jobs I've seen our U.S. military do. We had a plan, we stuck to it, and it worked out real good.
Can't believe he's home. So it's good. We're happy.
Good to see my little boys, you know, brand new kid, and be with my wife again. And it's good to be home.
For some of these families, it's time now to get back to a normal life. But others still have a little celebrating yet to do.
We're going to go to Cancun.
Even though a lot of troops are on their way home, still others are just being deployed to the war region. That's because the job in Iraq is far from being over. Reporting live, I'm Steve Crupi. Jim, back to you.
That was something to watch, Steve. Thank you. Nellis Airmen are not the only ones celebrating a welcome home today. Members of the 60th Air Mobility Wing returned to Northern California. The men and women were in charge of operating and maintaining KC-10s during Operation Iraqi Freedom. And more airmen from Kansas and Pennsylvania also returned home today.
A 19-year-old is in custody tonight after police say he stole a budget rental truck and went on a rampage. It started when officers say Carlos Bugarin stole a budget rental truck and started ramming vehicles at Alta and Rainbow. Police say Bugarin continued south through the intersection at Sahara. Police followed him. Then after more crashes and a carjacking, the chase finally ended at Spring Mountain and Rainbow. Police don't know why Bugarin stole the truck in the first place. Investigators say a driver who witnessed the accident, Miguel Medina, got out of his white Ford to see if he could help the situation. And that's when he became a victim as well.
He left his car with the keys in it, really, and the guy got out and got in his car and took off.
Officers got up behind it.
Police say Carlos Bugarin had no driver's license, just an ID. Tonight he's charged with 2 counts of possession of a stolen vehicle, reckless driving, and hit and run. He later admitted to police that he had used an illegal substance before the rampage. Depending on the outcome of a drug test, police say Bugarin could face more charges. Now, several people were injured in the crash. 3 were taken to UMC for treatment, but all have been released tonight.
A bill creating a statewide Amber Alert system has been approved by the Nevada legislature. This just happened today. The system would alert police and media outlets throughout the state when a child is missing, and then we would immediately pass the information about the case on to you. The measure now heads to Governor Kenny Gwinn for his signature. A Las Vegas man wanted for sexual assault, battery, and kidnapping is behind bars again. Police say 38-year-old Daniel Myrick was seen near his victim's workplace overnight. When police went to Myrick's home to arrest him, he refused to come out. 4 hours later, police broke his front window to go in and get him. The neighbors were asked to either stay inside or get out of the area until police had Myrick in custody.
I understand that when he went into the business last night where this girl was working, that he was dressed as a woman and went into the business. And then she had called the police.
He was dressed in a white shirt and pink underwear.
Yeah, police say Myrick often dressed like a woman as a disguise. He's being held now on $450,000 bail. In addition to the sexual assault, kidnapping, and battery charges, Myrick now faces stalking and felony obstruction charges, too.
This Friday, former Henderson priest Mark Roberts will be sentenced for sexually abusing and photographing teenage boys at his parish. Today, abuse victims and their families rallied in support of a tougher sentence for the priest. Members of the group SNAP, the support network for those abused by priests, handed out flyers to people in front of the courthouse downtown. Those flyers give people information about the Mark Roberts case and reasons why they say he should be given jail time instead of probation.
And if we've learned anything over the last year, year and a half of this horrible scandal, it's that men who molest kids don't stop. They simply abuse at every chance they get. So we want to make sure that kids are safe.
Mark Roberts pled guilty to gross lewdness and 4 charges of child abuse and neglect involving boys.
Bally's Casino and Park Place Entertainment are facing a sexual harassment lawsuit. A 36-year-old married man says he was fired on the 90th day of his 90-day probation period for telling his supervisor that another employee made sexually explicit remarks. He says the remarks were homosexual in content. A spokesperson for Park Place would not comment on any specifics of the case, but says the company is committed to providing a non-discriminatory environment for all of its employees.
The bankrupt Aladdin Hotel Casino is a hot commodity now that another company wants to make a bid for the property. You're looking at a live picture of the Aladdin from our Rio cam. Base company Financial Capital Investment wants to transform the Aladdin into an Asian-themed destination. It plans on making its bid when a U.S. bankruptcy court judge holds a possible auction for the casino. Now, last week, the Planet Hollywood chain offered $635 million for that resort. Senators Harry Reid and John Ensign say they have a plan to prevent development at Red Rock Canyon. The senators suggest Clark County sell the public lands to buy and rehabilitate a hilltop mine located next to the canyon, as well as turn the land over to the federal government to add to the Red Rock Conservation Area. Las Vegas developer Jim Rhodes wants to build thousands of homes on the mine property, which he recently purchased for $54 million.
Is it a down payment on jump-starting the economy or an ill-advised mortgaging of our future? That's how the tax cut debate is shaping up in Washington, D.C. this week. President Bush met with top Republicans at the White House today. He wants the House-approved $550 billion tax cut package instead of the $350 billion passed by the Senate. The president says the bigger cut is needed to spur business investment and create jobs.
We want a jobs and growth package that will do that, but economists say by all means don't compound your problem by creating debt of the magnitude the president has now proposed.
The Democrats argue that the president's plan will only benefit the rich rather than providing the stimulus our economy needs.
President Bush said Americans would receive, based on this tax cut plan, an average tax cut of just over $1,000. But experts say the amount of the cut would vary for each of us. Under Bush's proposed tax plan, 92 million Americans would receive an average tax cut of $1,083. Experts say the Bush administration took the average of all taxpayers, including the wealthy, to get that number. They say, realistically, more than half of taxpayers will get $500 or less under Bush's plan, and about 28% will get less than $100.
Our state's economy is shaky at best right now, and even if America pulls itself out of recession and the airlines return to their pre-September 11th levels, there's one factor that will continue to hurt the bottom line here. Tribal casinos in California are getting bigger all the time. For years, Las Vegas casino owners have been fighting the Indians, spending a lot of money to keep the tribes from building casinos to rival the Strip mega resorts. But 3 years ago, they lost that battle when Proposition 1A passed in California and gave the tribes the right to offer Las Vegas-style slots and card games in their casinos. I was there for the victory party back then, and tribal casino managers told me there was no stopping them now.
With the passage, we'll be able to have house bank games. We'll have the newest, the best slot machines out there.
He was right. Since Prop 1A passed, the strategy for many Las Vegas casino owners has changed to, if you can't beat them, join them. Several of them are teaming up with the tribes now to offer Las Vegas-style gaming hundreds of miles from the Strip. Now, if your vision of a tribal casino was pretty much a glorified bingo hall, that's about to change. Recently, I went back to Southern California to see how full-scale resorts there are luring tourists and their money away from Las Vegas, sometimes with the help of our best gaming minds.
Check those ladies in.
This picture tells the story. These gamblers are leaving Las Vegas to spend their money somewhere else. And it's all being done with the blessing of Sunset Station. They've agreed to ship 50 of their best players to a tribal casino in California. This is where the group is headed, the massive Barona Valley Ranch Resort just outside San Diego.
The whole casino is about 330,000 square feet. It's pretty much comparable to anything you'll see in Las Vegas. The games are the same, slot machines are the same.
Las Vegas-style action right in the heart of the lucrative Southern California market. This is a full-service resort, complete with a golf course, wedding chapel, spectacular pool, and extravagant suites for high rollers. Even if it is keeping some Californians from making the trip to the Strip, Nevada casino owners want in on that action.
Our competition, if you will, in Las Vegas wanted to find out a little something about Barona,
And they've all come out here. I would say that almost all of your big operators along the Strip have come to us and have offered us one form of arrangement or another in order for us to kind of help them out and for them to help us out.
Offer a Las Vegas-style gaming experience and in some cases take it to a whole new level. Here's a perfect example. Customer service. If you want to stay at the table but you're really hungry for a bite to eat, well, here you can do that. Verona is sharing customers with Sunset Station, but other tribes are taking the Las Vegas connection a step further. Welcome to Harrah's Rincon Resort, also just a short drive from San Diego.
What we've got a chance to do here, and we talk about bringing Las Vegas to Southern California, it's really bringing the amenities, the restaurants, the hotels, the spa, the pool area, the Las Vegas-style games that, you know, until we had Prop 1A, the tribes really didn't have that available to them.
Harrah's has the contract to run this casino, giving the tribes access to all of the inside knowledge of a legendary Nevada casino group.
We're able now to bring our brand to Southern California, which is a huge market. That's vitally important to our strategy.
There are dozens of tribal casinos in California now. Here's another huge one, the Pechanga Resort in Temecula. And together they are making millions from gamblers who would rather stay close to home than make the trip to Las Vegas.
I love it. We're having fun. We just won. That's why I love it.
Do you come here a lot?
No, this is our first time here, but we've been to Pechanga and all over. We love these little Indian reservations.
But those short day trips don't keep Loretta and her friend Bernice away from Las Vegas completely, which is an encouraging sign for our economy.
I think there's room for both. There's a certain draw here and there's a certain draw there. Here we would go a little more frequently because it's for the day. And any of the other Indian casinos, it's for the day. You don't always have the time to drive to Vegas. You know, and that's like a once-a-year kind of thing.
Don Mackey shares that view. For him, the tribal casinos are just a warm-up for the big show on the Strip.
If I had a choice, I would still go to Vegas. This was just something to fill in, you know, when you don't take the long trip.
Still, there's no denying the tribes are taking a bite out of the profits for Las Vegas casinos, and that bite is sure to get even bigger in the future.
I'm working on a master plan. We need to add more hotel rooms. We were fully booked. From the day we opened, we have been fully booked in the hotel. 200 rooms every night. So we've got lots of plans to grow this business. This is just the beginning.
So how do Las Vegas leaders feel about all this? Well, earlier tonight, Mayor Oscar Goodman went off, is the best way I can put it, when the subject of Indian casinos came up on our news at 6 o'clock. He says if he'd been mayor when Las Vegas companies were making these deals, he would have stopped them in their tracks.
I can assure you that if I were in a position of power and local entities came to me and they said they wanted to open up a casino elsewhere or join forces with an Indian reservation and provide competition for the very lifeblood of our economy, I'd say absolutely not, and I justify it very easily by saying we can't regulate you elsewhere, and if you do something to embarrass us elsewhere, it will have an effect upon the state, and I wouldn't tolerate it. And now it's coming to bite us, and I'm really concerned about what's going to happen in the downtown area with these California casinos. It's incumbent upon us to be gleaming and glistening, but they're going to give us all the competition we can handle.
Well, for better or worse, the deals are done now, and like the mayor said, the tribes plan to give Las Vegas a run for the money.
Nevada pharmacists will no longer be able to deny birth control pills to women under a new bill before the state Senate. There are exceptions to the rule. If a pharmacist determines that the prescription is fake or illegal, they could deny the patient's request. Planned Parenthood is pushing for this bill to pass. Supporters say the bill would stop pharmacists with religious objections from refusing to fill prescriptions for any drug, including contraceptives and morning-after pills. The bill now heads to the Senate for approval. On average, men living in the United States die almost 5 years before women. A study published in the American Journal of Public Health shows men have higher death rates than women for each of the 15 leading causes of death, except Alzheimer's. The male death rate is at least twice as high for accidents, murder, suicide, and hardening of the liver. Researchers also add that men are more likely than women to be in prison, homeless, or using illegal drugs.
Dr. Jim in with us now. The winds have calmed down, but for how long?
Yes, that's the big question.
Well, and actually, they're still kind of just hanging around. They're down than what they were yesterday, but we're still like 10 to 20.
It's still breezy, yeah.
We're in the 80s this time of year. It's almost May, for goodness sakes.
I'm getting a lot of phone calls and emails about
I
that.
bet.
We'll talk about that in a second. Let's take a look out tonight where the winds are still coming down in intensity, but we just can't say goodbye to them completely. Skies are clear. Temperatures in the 60s, still gusting to 25, 22% relative humidity. Barometric pressure is rising, and that's going to be a key factor for us over the next couple of days. Let's take a look at what's happening as far as wind with our live conditions at our Wells Fargo WeatherNet stations here in the valley. Anywhere from 2 miles an hour to 10 miles an hour, but really it's more like the 10 to 20 mile an hour winds will continue for tonight. By tomorrow, it's going to be more like 5 to 15. So we're going to be improving. I'll show you why in a second. 72, the official high temperature at the airport today. That's 10 degrees below average for this time of year. 54 was our overnight low temperature. Air quality remains pretty good at this point. Pollen reports remaining about the same. Tree pollen's high, grass pollen is high, weeds are moderate, so we can't quite say goodbye to that either. This is the reason why we're seeing this cooler air. We've had a couple of storms. Now, one right now is just centered over the Pacific Northwest. Storm after storm has been coming out of the Gulf of Alaska, and with it's bringing it just that slightly cooler air. And that's exactly what's happening now. We've got our area of low pressure right here. Well, guess what? There's another one out here. There's another one down here to the south. And put all that together is we're going to see this one storm system move away from us, and then we're going to see our winds shifting just a little bit, and then these next two systems are going to get here just in time for the weekend. And again, every time we have one of those storm systems that just pulls in this cooler air from the north, by the time it gets down here, it shifts around to the southwest and heads back to the north, but it just keeps our temperatures about 8 to 10 degrees below average for this time of year. Until that's out of here, we're not going to see some major changes in the forecast. But I'll tell you what, as soon as it happens, boom, we're going to be right back into the 90s and 100 degrees within a month from now. 22 our low temperature tonight, Mount Charleston. 45 the high temperature tomorrow. Winds 5 to 15 miles an hour as that storm system pulls away before the next ones get here for the weekend. 53 our low temperature at Lake Mead tonight. 82 the high temperature tomorrow. Nice boating day. Water temperature 62 degrees and lighter winds here in Las Vegas tonight. Clear skies, 52 our low, still breezy for tonight with winds 10 to 20 miles an hour. Only 5 to 15 tomorrow, a high near 76 degrees. 5-day forecast, nice next couple of days, 80 for Friday, 20 to 30% chance for showers Saturday and Sunday.
Got the 180 in there for Nina, right?
Yeah.
Barely, and then it's gone again.
All right, well, hang in there.
Yeah, you bet.
Thanks, Dr. Jim.
Toying with our emotions again, aren't you?
Up and down and back and forth.
Just ahead here on Nightside tonight, it was the place to be on the Strip this evening.
Up next, we'll show you how the Sahara Casino is bringing back legendary dining. Next. It was once considered the place to dine in Las Vegas. Now, legendary dining is back at the House of Lords Steakhouse at the Sahara.
This is a lovely place to come to. It's brand new and all the wine, everything that you want to. They will serve you anything you want to.
The DeCastro sisters were among the many celebrity guests at the House of Lords Steakhouse celebration tonight. Steakhouse opened in the 1960s during the Rat Pack era and was rumored to have been modeled after England's House of Lords. The restaurant features high-back black velvet chairs, oak wood tables, and a British motif.
Being here at the House of Lords brings back some great memories. I remember when the House of Lords first opened at the old Sahara, and it was probably the best restaurant in Vegas at the time, and I think this will do the same thing.
The House of Lords Steakhouse is open from 5 until 10 every night.
Coming up in sports, the Lakers return to their original home and try to make the other team cry wolf.
And even if you're not into NASCAR, you might be surprised how much the good old boys help the Las Vegas economy. That's next on News 3, where news comes first.
Game 5 of the Lakers-Timberwolves series held tonight in Minneapolis. Blowout city. Kobe Bryant scored 16 of his 32 in the third quarter. Lakers just blew out the T-Wolves. Nice give and go from Shaq to Kobe. Shaq had 27 in the game. Derek Fisher, big first half. He ended up with 24. T-Wolves never had a chance in this one. Lakers won it by 30. 120-90. They lead the series 3 games to 2. Phoenix Suns would rather not remember the Alamo Dome. They came up just short in Game 5 tonight against the Spurs. Tim Duncan, he had 23 and 17, but for once he was not the leading scorer for SA. Now Phoenix, they kept it close until late in the game. Former Rebel Sean Marion led Phoenix with 22 points. Penny Hardaway added 16 for Phoenix, but San Antonio's Malik Rose was the difference. Not usually known as a high scorer for them, but he had 27 tonight. San Antonio wins the game 94-82. They lead the series 3-2. Spurs can clinch this thing on Thursday night with a victory in Phoenix. Other NBA playoff action tonight. New Jersey wins at home 89-82. Nets lead that one 3-2. And Indiana survives. They win this one. They had to win or they would have been done. 93-88. Final in OT. Celtics still lead that series 3-2. 51s won again tonight in Oklahoma City. 7-5 your final. Former big league pitcher Wilson Alvarez improved to 3-0 for the 51s. Bubba Crosby homered for Las Vegas, his 5th of the year. In the bigs, Dodgers hosting the Phillies. Former Las Vegas 51 star Mike Kincaid making a great diving catch out there in left to rob Bobby Abreu in the 6th inning of play. He has made 2 catches just about like that, carbon copies, in the last week, so he's definitely making his presence felt. Already 2-0 LA when Adrian Beltre came through with a solo blaster to left. Nobody's going to make a diving stab on that one. Dodgers win it 6-2 was your final score. It used to be college girls going wild. Now it's a coach going wild, and there are pictures to prove it. Iowa State basketball coach Larry Eustace, who was 47 years old, feeling the need after these photos were released, shows him drinking beer and getting kissed on the cheek by a young lady who was a student at the time at the University of Missouri. Problem is, Eustace's married. He was hanging at a frat party in Columbia, Missouri, just hours after his team lost a game there. The most powerful newspaper in Iowa is calling for him to be fired. Iowa State officials still haven't decided what action to take, if any, but you can expect something. Ladies and gentlemen of the LVCVA, start your engines and open your cash registers. NASCAR weekend means mega bucks for Las Vegas. In figures released today, they say $133 million was spent in Las Vegas by race fans over the NASCAR weekend. They got the qualifications on Friday, the Busch race on Saturday, Winston Cup race on Sunday afternoon. So in other words, the hotels are filled, so are the restaurants, and oh yeah, the bars. And the Speedway says they're not done yet. They're going to add 22,000 seats next year. They're going to call it the Dale Earnhardt Terrace. So all the figures we've been releasing each year that go up and up and up, you can count on it to increase again next year. 22,000 more butts in the stands, more hotel rooms, and more people in the bars.
Huge. Those Budweisers going fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know, the Dale Earnhardt fans will be out. The Dale Earnhardt Jr. fans will be there as well. It's going to be nice.
Thanks, Mitch.
We'll be right back. Our time on a Tuesday has come to an end.
So sad.
So
Gotta
sad.
go. Thanks for having us in tonight.
Leno's up next. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.